Greetings everyone, here's Lodric and this is a game War in the Pacific at Admiral's Edition. This is my play by email match against KilRoy. He's the commander of the Allied forces and for me it is the Empire of Japan. This is scenario 1, no modifications, standard 1 turn setup. Last turn I was able to reconquer Marcus Island, and even if it's cost me in total maybe up to 6 Navy Guard units getting heavily damaged but not destroyed. On the other hand, the Allies I think lost at least 4 units on Marcus Island and they get wiped out. So, plus a bunch of aircraft. Of course, I had additional losses with cargo ships and supplies. But I would still say that if the Allied or the army losses are 1-1, this is always in favor for the Japanese. I mean, also the Allied loss points for army units are higher than for Japanese. So here's the first heavy cruiser battleship formation bombarding. This is, I think, the second bombardment already in melee. So my base will be here under heavy pressure, and maybe this is the next target KilRoy try to take over. Luckily, hit not my airplanes. I think I had 22 ready Nell bombers and I sent them back to Truk, simply to take them out of the battle line. It made no sense to keep them there. I was not sure if there's more bombardment coming. Because there's also a carrier nearby, I cannot really operate them. Make no sense to risk here to losing the whole air wing. Again, hit but no explosion. So, very common for the poor Japanese submarine fleet. So often I hit but nothing happens. Not like the Allied submarines. They always hit and make explosion, at least the British and the Dutch. So no Navy engagement. This is out of, these are not carrier, I mean, these are not Nell bombers coming from a carrier. It looks like they're starting from this task force, but they are more far away from Truk. So this is the airstrike out of Truk, bombarding this forward base, because I saw last turn some information that there are ships in port, so I make a port strike. And I was able to completely wipe out these ships. This is the invasion fleet, but they are now all heavy damaged. You can see heavily damaged, heavy fire. I think they will not leave this port more. This is now my carrier striking. This is short range dive bombers, and they finish the job more or less. My land-based Navy bombers start already. So, one invasion fleet destroyed for the Allies in port. Now we're changing back to China. Now it's the American carrier striking melee. No, not melee. Here's the one local mine sweeper. The ship is too slow to run away, and if I stay in port or in open sea, it really also doesn't matter. There was no chance to really save this ship, and this is only local minesweeper. maybe now the thinking of this task force report I just write. More bombardments, more Chinese disabled units. This is now the focus for this Chinese units coming behind my line. I must make sure that I don't lose this base, and I must try to get my broken Japanese block forces back to the front line. That I can rebuild them maybe. So this is now the main strike of this carrier fleet against melee. Of course he attacks the airfield, but he don't really find something there now. Okay. So my army is moving south direction of Chongqing. And this block force was easily wiped away. You can see that the defender have no supplies or lack on supplies. And I attack now on Hamilton and try to kick out this Australian cavalry and division. So he is in the second Australian division is here, and I am able again to win the victory. This division has, I think, the best supply situation. So the Australian forces more or less jump back southwest. It is mainly that the defender, so the Australian forces have a lack of supplies or something is not so well, because their attack value is dropping nearly half. I also lose some attack value simply because I don't have enough supplies and I have fatigue and all of this stuff. But the allies have much higher problems or bigger problems here. Out of this you can see that disabled units are more or less equally, but the Australian New Zealand forces also have a lot of units destroyed, and I don't know how fast they can rebuild. Because I think the allies, they have a fixed rebuild numbers, and the Japanese, they have more or less, I think they can rebuild whatever they want if they have enough industry points and manpower and armament. It's the limitation is much more flexible. So, next bombardment of Rangoon, waiting for my tanks to arrive here. And also, this bombardment also was good. I think maybe these bombardments are at least good enough to deny every reinforcements for the allies. So KilRoy cannot rebuild his forces, and I can slowly maybe get my attack value back for the next big push. Good. That was the turn already. So nothing really surprisingly, American carrier striking my forward base in melee. Then and I was able to find this enemy uh, task force in port and sink 4 or 5 ships, cargo ships, APs, and maybe some support destroyers. Air war was very inactive, all related to carrier operations or other stuff. Nothing really too. I lost here one Nell bomber at this strike on the port. Yeah, but they all have no armament, no protection, and low hit point, so they dying also easy. China, so I break here out. I was waiting for supplies and waiting for supplies, but at the end I think I gave up more or less. I have here still normally not supplies. Of course I had here just a battle, so I consumed some supplies, but all of my forces are here on limited supply line, and maybe it really is not working to get enough supplies over the small roads this far away. I mean, Xi'an is maybe the last really big. I can maybe go if I bring the supplies here. Still many hexes, small road. It would be better if I, of course, control these 2 hexes and could bring the supplies, but then there's strong wing, so it's always complicated. So my broken forces are more or less nearly back. I have a new backup force here, but this is not really attack value. So I was lucky that KilRoy not attacked last turn. I only try desperately to build here up the fort level as soon as possible. This is all clear terrain, so there is no real good way to defend against the enemy attack. But this was all forces are broken before. I think I kicked them already once out and they're coming maybe back. So I don't know how much attack value is behind this numbers of units. I also bring in some emergency reinforcements to Wushang, because what I really cannot lose is this air base or this base. It would be not easily to retake. And I have here also only the minimum attack value left for garrison. So still my Yan'an army is coming down. My southern army arrived at the border, so I can open the border now next turn. And once this is done, I can call them back to help in the center front. My tanks are moving direction Rangoon, so I can rest and wait for them, and then maybe in 2 or 3 turns I arrive in Rangoon. Maybe around 21st of May I can attack of Rangoon, and then I have even more attack value in Rangoon, and maybe this will be enough. And all of these bombardments keep the British maybe in a state of unease. Anything else here to see? Not really. I don't know if the blockade of Perth is good, or if if there's nothing coming, then of course it's good, or the ships I cannot find. I don't know. Yeah, I was able to clean Hamilton Hex. Now I have the New Zealand troops behind me. I also try to get all my broken, disabled Navy Guard units back to Gisborne, because this is the only base I can I fly here supplies in, and this is the only base I can rebuild broken units more or less easily. Yeah. Here's the next. This is the next attempt. This time I have 2 escort destroyers directly and 3 cargo ships. And I think I will use my heavy cruisers to meet them. They are now on the way back, but maybe I have still enough ammunition, because there was this one battle, but the ammunition consumption was not too great. I lost a lot, or I consumed a lot of torpedoes. This is always what the ships are doing first, but this is okay. So maybe I will take this cruiser out to bring back to port, but the rest is fine. So, but this needs still 4 or 5 days to arrive at Gisborne, and if there's an enemy battleship showing up, yeah, then we have a problem. But I must try. I need supplies, that's for sure. Again, this is this carrier division. Okay, I don't see the heavy hitters somewhere else, but I fly out what was possible, and this is all the broken machines from last turn. 2 are repaired. Luckily, there was no hit on the airbase hangar. I don't know. The airbase direct itself is damaged, but not completely destroyed. It's a bigger airport here already. I have here also some engineers, so I can normally rebuild it sooner or later, if there's no amphibious assault coming now. But I also have here at least some mines. So, but it was not enough mines to hurt these battleships. And of course, mines are good for protecting against amphibious assault, maybe, but for bombardment, it's depending what kind of ship make bombardment. I think if you make long range shelling, then there's less likely a mine hit, because you stay more far away from the base. I hope the game will simulate this, but I'm not 100% sure. Here was a successful airstrike. Now I only see 1 ship left, so I think last one was 5 or 6. So very successful. 2 ships are also here in port, so I'm not so sure if these are maybe 2 ships was in port before, now they're out of port. The airbase and the port is all damaged, so this base is still in ruin, but there is some equipment here. Still, my carriers are, yeah, I don't know, so you can ask again. So, why no additional airstrikes? I don't know. I don't see weather problems, and there was airstrikes coming, so I don't know. Some rules in this game are a little strange. Here's first nothing to see. And I'm here now loading my troops, because all of this 3 Navy Guard units was all out of any real meaningful attack value. So I will load them now and return them to Tokyo, let them repair there and refit. And at the same time, important is only I have the base first. Then I think I will bring in some maybe fresh Navy Guard units and some base force. But I also must clean here the mines, so it needs some time. First objective was destroy the allied airbase here, so that they cannot see me coming. And now there's no submarine base nearby and all of this. That is the first goal. To install here my own base would be in the future. Good. But you can see that here's a new task force building up around. This is a much stronger unit. This is a real hitting power. And with this I can maybe go to Pegan, and later maybe for Saipan. I'm not sure, because KilRoy took Pegan early on, and here is normally a stacking limit of 6,000. Marcus Island only have a stacking limit of 6,000. So here, and my recon information are not so great. Maybe he has much more. Good, we will see you in the future. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.